So, oh, there you go. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much what it was. This is 11:06 p.m., which shouldn't be surging. Actually, there's a dead time between 11 and 1. This is LA, by the way, people. Please, no hate mail. Don't be jealous.
Well, hold on. I took a couple of screenshots from my end on Uber. It was all right. Lyft was actually busier. So Lyft was doing more surge on New Year's Eve. This was taken at 6:30 at night. I don't know if you can see it, but around Buffalo, the most we had was 725, which wasn't too far from me, which was nice. And then the rest was like $5, $3.50. And it was kind of like that for a majority of the night. But you go on Lyft side, and it was looking like this pink mess over here. It was like this pink goo all over the place. Like the pink goo Lyft just splat out all over Buffalo too. So
this is what happens. Yes, this is what happens when you decline garbage. Okay, when you decline garbage, right here up top. Okay, you guys are looking at the beautiful Pacific Palisades today, by the way. This is what happens when you decline garbage. When you decline shit, and they don't have enough drivers, supply and demand obviously takes over. Look at those beautiful pink 34s and 50s and 42s. Okay, those are real. Okay. And then on the left side, it was Uber. Literally, it was like 8 hours like this, nonstop. It was just blood red, and then we'll show you close-up numbers in a second. Again, this is LA. Don't be jealous. It is for one day. One day, don't make a trend. But this was Uber. This is about 12:30 past midnight.
I got to interject one thing right here. You said this is not only where you decline garbage, but it's also those who are turning off new requests while on a trip. So when you stop new requests and you don't get pinged all the time by rides coming in, whether it's Trip Radar, which kind of taking a back seat, which is fine because it's just a safety issue. But new ping requests coming in all the time. If you don't want to take that ride, or you don't want to look at the phone or whatever, stop a new request. A lot safer.
Okay, so everybody. Okay, today we're not doing questions.
And let's try this
because Chris is in borrowed time today. He may go out any second. So everybody who has questions, please email me, Sergio at RideShareGuy.com. I will answer it, as most of you know, within 48 hours latest. So Carol and Chris Silva and Joel Barrero, whatever, whoever has a comment or a question, please email me, Sergio at RideShareGuy.com. Okay. So, and this was Uber, about half hour past midnight. And it got actually crazier than this. These are two separate areas of LA, Santa Monica, all the way down to West Hollywood. Whoever's in LA knows. I actually wanted to see Mr. Gambit here today because he's in LA. A whole bunch of drivers are in LA. So, yeah, look at the numbers on the right. This is Uber X. I mean, I couldn't pick the number 666, the number of the devil, bro. But then it ended up
5, so you're okay.
Yeah. I got the 25 going. Yeah, and then so 8 hours and 41 online, 7 hours and 15 active. On active time, it's about, really close to $100 an hour, $95. All Uber X, all short trips, the DF strategy, shorty after shorty, 20-25 a pop. And this is what happens when you have a strategy and you know what you're doing. Now when I saw this, I reminisce. Okay, I go back to this. Used to look like every weekend, guys. Used to look exactly like this in LA. Okay, regular weekend, no New Year's. Every weekend was like this.
Once you hit that prime time, especially at night, same thing in Buffalo, was always red.
Man, but so I was like reminiscing. But then you look, this is just New Year's Eve, and this is what happens when you decline garbage, and then the algo cannot create drivers out of the blue. Okay, just can't. And this is what happens. And then demand outstrips supply, and boom, right? I actually had a lot of people send me screenshots that if you were driving Uber X or Lyft Standard and you didn't make $60 minimum an hour, you obviously did not know what the heck was going on, right? So kudos to all the drivers who made bags of money. It's only one day, but we take the victories as we can get, man. That's it.
Yep.
So hope you all were safe and killed it.
On the flip side, though,
killed it. We killed it in LA. There's nothing.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, I don't know if you've been looking at different places on, Facebook or Reddit or any other places like that. Even some comments on the channel, they were talking about how, there wasn't much going on for New Year's. So it was pretty quiet, which, it's kind of, I don't know how, essentially, sometimes. I mean, there could be just too many drivers in that market all online at the same time. Obviously, that's going to be it. But, New Year's was probably one of the busiest New Year's in quite some time because of the whole pandemic over the last couple of years. So, this was probably one of the first years where people were actually happy to get out, do things, go with family, have some fun, and then just be smart about it. So instead of drinking and driving, they're drinking and calling an Uber or Lyft or something
we
like
had
that.
we had two things going. As Chris said, pandemic, in LA on the West Coast, left coast, we did not open up. Actually, this was the first New Year without any restrictions, right? Really, relatively speaking. And the other thing that was happening is there was steady rain in LA starting about 5 p.m. So a lot of drivers actually don't drive when it rains for one reason or another. But then in the old world, we have a saying when it comes to rideshare: when it rains, money pours. Okay. So to me, it was the best of both worlds for LA drivers. And I love you guys. I hope you all stay safe, and killed it. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, Uber was charging $130 for a 4-mile ride. Honestly, in this case, when I'm making 60 on a 4-mile ride, I don't give a rat's ass what Uber is charging or the passengers pay. They're paying me well. That's all I care. The rest, whatever. So yeah, that was it. Hopefully you all killed it. This one day don't make a trend. Back to reality now, back to gray maps. But
Yeah,
I enjoyed it, man.
Some of the bonuses and quests and promotions and stuff like that they were offering, depending on where you were either really good or really bad. You didn't get anything. Some people got some. For me personally, I would have been able to give 15 rides for $180 bonus, and that was on Uber. And then Lyft was doing another. If you gave 60 rides, they would give you a $700 bonus. So there were quite some good bonuses for this week. And then other people were getting different types of bonuses, where if you gave so many trips, you get extra money, kind of like a quest promotion, but it was the New Year's type quest promotion. So it was a little bit different. And again, I want to know, what did you guys see? What kind of bonuses were you having in your area? And Sergio, what did you have?
This is what I had.
Screenshots in just a moment, but
this is what I had. I had garbage bonus, and I honestly did not give a rat's ass, because listen to me, man. Who gives a shit about $4 a trip or less, or 10 or $6 or whatever the heck it is, when it's 30 surge? You know what I'm saying? I go like, okay, it's like extra icing, not even icing, extra icing.
Yeah, it's like sprinkles.
Like, who cares about this? Not even gas money. I'm like, okay, fuck it, I don't care. But then we have to show it to you. This was what I had: 4 trips for 15 extra between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. And then after 11 p.m., they upped the price to $5 a trip. I'm like, wow, thanks, buddy. And I mean, look, I'm not going to complain, because if you hit these, that's an extra 135, 19 trips, 27 was the number. I'm like, hey, $135, I'll take it. But I've heard from Florida, from Philly, and from Atlanta that the numbers were pretty similar. $3-4 a trip. The other thing is, look, we talked about this, and we're going to talk about it next week too when we continue our education series. Look, there are a lot of drivers out in Uber and Lyft. Look, that night, only that night, was a win-win-win. By the way, I spoke to somebody on through Twitter, like it or not, Uber. Do you know how many rides they squeezed in those like 10 hours in that one day, in between Uber Eats and Uber rides? 745,000, bro, in the US. Wow. They squeezed 745,000 trips in that fucking 24-hour period. Can you imagine that shit? Dang. I'm wondering, like, 745,000 individual trips, and then the shit goes correct most of the time. Anyway, I'm like shocked, right? So yeah, so there you go. Nothing major on promotions, bro. But you weren't out there for promotions. You were out there gunning for surge, baby. That's it. So to me, it's like, hey.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.